focus tonight is an uplifting story, one of hope and a win for Indian diplomacy. The Indian priest, Father Tom Uzhunnalil, who was kidnapped by the Islamic State in March 2016 in Yemen, has finally been rescued. Father Tom was kidnapped by ISIS after an attack on an old people's home run by missionaries in the southern port city of Aden. Gunmen posing as relatives of one of the residents at the home had barged in, killing 16 people, including an Indian nun. After sustained diplomatic efforts by India, Father Tom was finally rescued with the help of Oman. He has already been transferred to Muscat, from where he will return to his home in Kerala tonight. This also comes just weeks after External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj held extensive talks with the Deputy Prime Minister of Yemen about Father Tom, who in fact had appealed both to the Indian government and Pope Francis to secure his release from his captors. And this isn't the first time that the Modi government, and particularly Sushma Swaraj, have been credited with successfully employing diplomatic means to secure the release of Indians from war zones. Remember, in 2015, Junior Foreign Minister General V.K. Singh had spearheaded Operation Rahat, a large-scale evacuation mission carried out in Yemen with more than 4,700 Indian nationals and close to 2,000 foreign nationals being rescued by the Indian forces. And then, of course, there are the numerous cases of Sushma Swaraj coming to the rescue of scores of Indians, either stranded in some part of the world or in need of help, and reaching out to the foreign minister on Twitter. The question we're asking tonight is Father Tom's rescue just the latest example of India's proactive diplomacy, saving the day and precious lives, not to mention the huge diplomatic wins in Doklam and at the BRICS summit just recently?
He was abducted, his colleagues were killed, and he had to spend more than a year in ISIS captivity. But his ordeal has ended now.
The Tom Uzhunnalil, who was kidnapped from a
His ordeal has ended now.
The Tom Uzhunnalil, who was kidnapped from a care home, is released from his captivity. The report says that Father Tom Uzhunnalil is physically very weak, and within 2 days he will come back to Kerala. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan says that he is so happy about this news, and he will provide all the medical treatment for the Tom Uzhunnalil.
Kerala priest Father Tom has been rescued from ISIS captivity from Yemen and will soon return home.
I wish first and foremost to thank God Almighty for this day.
أشكر الله القدير لهذا اليوم،
For the
وأرجو من الله أن ينعم على جلالة السلطان قابوس بالصحة والعافية لأعوام عديدة وللشعب العماني كذلك.
It's a very happy day, and we are happy that Father Tom will be with us. So we are grateful to so many people, because so many have really helped us. The External Affairs Ministry was really helpful.
On behalf of the Church in India, I thank the Government of India and all the officials who were involved in the process of dialogue.
Kerala Chief Minister P. Vijayan informed that Father Tom is currently undergoing treatment in Oman and will soon be returning to India. This is yet another diplomatic win for India, an achievement possible only due to persistent efforts of the Ministry of External Affairs, which never gave up on Father Tom. Bureau Report, NewsX.
All right, let's now take a quick look at the big questions we're asking tonight. Father Tom rescued after 18 months in ISIS captivity. A big diplomatic win for India. Is the rescue a direct outcome of Sushma Swaraj's talks with Yemen's Deputy Prime Minister? First Operation Rahat, now Father Tom's rescue. Major success for Indian diplomacy. Everyone's favorite minister on Twitter, does Sushma Swaraj deserve credit in this case? The Doklam win and the BRICS victory. Is Indian diplomacy on a roll? Let's take some of those questions straight across to our panel. We're joined by R.P. Singh, National Secretary of the BJP from the capital tonight. Here with me in the studio, Ashok Sajanhar, former diplomat, Professor M.D. Nalapat, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian, Suleiman Mohammed Khan, spokesperson for the Congress, and we're also joined, in fact, by Father Arikal, a priest known to Father Tom. He joins us from Kerala tonight. Ambassador Sajanhar, let me begin with you. Would you agree that Father Tom's rescue is perhaps the latest example of India's proactive diplomacy, saving the day as well as precious lives. We know Sushma Swaraj held talks with the Yemenis Deputy Prime Minister in the month of July. There were several concerns expressed by many about whether Father Tom was even alive, given that he was in ISIS captivity for 18 months. And, you know, there was a video where he had complained about his deteriorating health. But 18 months down the line, the man has been rescued and is being safely brought home back to India. How do you see this?
I see it's a huge win, huge success as far as the government's proactive diplomacy. And I think after the first year, what the government has said, you know, one of the elements of its diplomacy was sensitive, fast and proactive diplomacy.
Okay.
So, you know, that is the phraseology that comes to my mind, that it is sensitive because, you know, it has been working, notwithstanding the fact, as you said very rightly also, that there were some reports that maybe he had already been killed.
Correct.
You know, he was arrested in March and then early April, there were reports last year that he'd already been killed.
All sorts of rumors were floating around.
All sorts of rumors.
And there was also a video where he'd made an appeal to the Indian government and to Pope Francis and said that, you know, his condition was deteriorating steadily. So there were a lot of concerns.
There were lots of concerns, and you know, one of the problems that the Indian Foreign Office faced is that we do not have a mission. We do not have an embassy in Yemen.
In Yemen.
So, you know, in terms of interacting with the interlocutors in the Yemen government, that was a problem. But then Oman, that's a good friend, and Oman has is a neighbor with Yemen. So I think we were able to use the good offices
Correct.
of Sultan Qaboos with of Oman with the Yemenis authorities and also liaise directly with the Yemenis authorities.
Yes.
And I think we've been able to sort of, you know, get this very happy, very positive, very successful outcome.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. As I said at the outset, it's a story of hope, really, a very, very uplifting story that we're discussing, I think, after many days on this show. Professor Nalapat, let me bring you in. Now, in 2015, we also saw how Operation Rahat was executed. A massive evacuation mission that was spearheaded by Junior Foreign Minister V.K. Singh himself, who had in fact landed in Yemen for this purpose. We saw how close to 5,000 Indian nationals were rescued, and almost 2,000 foreign nationals too. So now you have Father Tom's rescue as well. Do you agree with Ambassador Sajjanahar and those who are saying that yes, this is a big victory for India's diplomacy, for India's proactiveness, and the fact that you had Sushma Swaraj perhaps burning the phone lines and you know, coordinating very closely with several regional leaders?
Well, I'd like to say that Sushma Swaraj has been a very successful foreign minister.
Yes.
I mean, there's now a perception in the entire Indian diaspora that help is just a tweet away.
Exactly.
You tweet the foreign minister, the external affairs minister, and you get help. And I think that's a tremendous achievement of Mrs. Swaraj.
Yes.
And very importantly, I think Sushma Swaraj has not been at all shy of taking the help of the Indian diaspora in these matters. Now, Kerala, for example, as you know, Mr. Sajjanahar will tell you, there's a huge Malayali diaspora in the Middle East, and I'm quite certain that a lot of the contacts that were provided for this rescue could have been provided by that diaspora.
Correct.
So that, you know, this comprehensive use of the total influence of India, whether it's the government, whether it's private citizens, the diaspora, I think we must credit Sushma Swaraj and the MEA for making use of this comprehensive power of this country.
Absolutely. Let me, in fact, take that question to Suleiman Muhammad Khan. Mr. Khan, you know, usually we've noticed the government and the opposition party not agreeing on anything. There was a time when there used to be a bipartisan approach on foreign policy. Many would say that even that's a thing of the past. There seems to be no agreement, whether it's on Pakistan, whether it's on China, whether it's on many other issues, even pertaining to national security. But let's talk for a moment about Sushma Swaraj. Would you for once be willing to give one minister in the India government credit for a good job done? Sushma Swaraj, as we all know, is a very popular minister. As Professor Nalapat mentioned there, that help is always just a tweet away. We've seen how she's come to the rescue of so many Indians stranded in some different parts of the world or desperately seeking help of one kind or another, and she has never disappointed. Her critics, I know, call her a Twitter minister, but has she, in a sense, redefined the role of the foreign minister?
First of all, Neha, I'll just clarify that Congress party has always been very supportive of the government in things which are of national interest. Congress party has always stated in the parliament and outside the parliament that whatever help you need from the opposition as a Congress party, we are ready to help and coordinate, although it's completely different the other way around when we were in power. You have yourself seen it. As far as Mrs. Sushma Swaraj's tenure as a foreign minister is concerned for past 3.5 years, I think she has done pretty well, and this rescue operation of Father Tom from Yemen, it's a good achievement that he has been in he has been in this custody of these ISIs whatsoever in Yemen for past more than 1.5 years.
18 months, and it was clearly a life-threatening situation.
Yeah, it was, and there were reports that he's not alive.
Exactly.
In between, I have read in some newspaper.
Right.
And if Oman has coordinated, if Sultan Said has coordinated and he has rescued them and he's coming very soon to India.
We believe he should be reaching Kerala tonight.
Tonight, yeah. So it's a very good achievement, but you know, you also
I was waiting for the but.
Yeah, but I must say that you also remember the missing 39 Indians.
Yes.
When they have been missing for 3 years.
Correct.
Junior Minister General V.K. Singh went to Mosul and he said they are alive. They are in Badoosh prison.
Right.
A TV channel covered their story. They went to Mosul and
the jail had been reduced to rubble. Yes.
And there was no one. Then the External Affairs Minister gave a statement in the Parliament that I will not commit a sin by saying that they are not alive.
By misleading the people.
I am just it was a misstatement, and I think Minister of State General V.K. Singh was completely responsible for that because he has shared that information.
But are you accusing the government of deliberately misleading people about that?
They have to be made responsible for this because, you know, a junior minister saying something with responsibility, which the External Affairs Minister, Union Cabinet Minister for External Affairs, Sushma Swaraj stating from information from the junior minister. When asked a question in the parliament, she has to clarify.
I'll put that question to RP Singh.
It was a cluelessness and obfuscation of the government.
Okay, you are saying it was obfuscation by the government. I'll put that question to RP Singh, but you know, I'm tempted to repeat my question to you. Would you on this occasion say it is a win for Indian diplomacy, 1, and 2, it is a job well done by Sushma Swaraj? Would you be willing to concede that?
As far as I have read and I have information,
yes.
I have nowhere read that they.
Would you be willing to concede that?
As far as I have read and I have information,
yes.
I have nowhere read that there has been a coordination between Oman and India, but I assume it was.
Because he's already been taken to Muscat.
Yeah,
and
he has been taken to Muscat.
That is where he's going to be flying down
therefore,
from
I say
tonight.
Therefore, there have been a coordination with Muscat or Oman government. He has been taken to Muscat.
Yes.
So it's a win situation after all.
So,
you have to give credit if they have been diplomatically dealing with Oman to rescue Father Tom.
Okay, I'm not sure if there's any scope for an if there, but okay, however reluctant...
I am short of knowledge. I am short of knowledge on that.
Okay, however reluctant he may be, but RP Singh, I think, you know, somewhat grudgingly, he is willing to give your government and especially Sushma Swaraj some credit for, you know, this diplomatic win. Let's talk about this for a moment before we shift our focus to those 39 missing Indians in Iraq. RP Singh, if you could share with us some details about how difficult or complicated this rescue mission actually may have been, considering that Father Tom was in ISIS custody for 18 months. Many thought he wasn't even alive. But many saying today, full credit to the Indian government, full credit to Sushma Swaraj for safely bringing him back to India tonight.
Okay, before I come to that, let me thank Mr. Sulaiman Khan, my friend, who, although he has expressed his gratitude or he expressed
Sir,
his
we have always been honest.
The rider, because
you have to learn this from us.
But he expresses happiness. So, sir, thank you. So, Mr. Khan, thank you. I mean,
you know, I have to say this is such a pleasant surprise for a news anchor to see smiling faces and two politicians belonging to the BJP and Congress congratulating each other and actually, you know, agreeing on anything. It is such a pleasant surprise for me as a news anchor. I have to say that. Mr. Singh, go ahead. Make your point.
See, Mr. Sulman happens to be a good friend also. We keep meeting on various programs, and he's a gentleman also, he's a good lawyer also. That's why he's very cautious when he says, I'm saying it as a rider. So I understand his legal point of view that he's saying with a rider, but let's understand. See, whenever any person is stuck abroad, there's so much of complication at diplomatic level, at the military level, at the strategic level also. And all put together, you get one person rescued. And it's not the first time it's happening. In the last 3 years, there are more than 80,000 people who have been rescued. I mean, till recent, I remember there's a girl named Uzma who was rescued from Pakistan.
That's true.
I mean,
That's
you
true.
might say she's a tweeted minister, but she's the one minister who
It's not
acts
my
in
word,
direct
sir.
and
Let me clarify. It's a
and she's-
critic who
I mean,
said.
today she's seen as
I'm an admirer of Sushma Swaraj. I was only
Thank you,
quoting her
but
critic.
today she's
Yes.
seen as mother to many. Okay. No issue. But she's seen as mother to many Indians who are stuck abroad because they know that they can send a message
Yes.
and she will just be there like a mother standing, ensuring that she reaches out to them and get them back. I mean, this was missing. I mean, I'm not saying
I agree,
this never
sir.
happened before, probably because of technology. I'm not going for some what says Congress.
Yes.
But probably because of technology today that they can reach out to the minister directly and the minister is there to come forward to help. But
yes.
the bigger issue is it's not the first time. I mean, it's happening again and again. And as for 39 people concerned, and let me be very clear.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong has been said by the minister herself. I mean, even today we say that we still have a hope and a chance for those 39 also. Because till that time there's some confirmed report. How can we lose a hope? And if my Congress friend or other people from Congress are very sure, let them go on record and say that they have a confirmed news that those people are not there, they're not alive. But
Well,
we
I
are
don't
working
think
against
anybody is
hope
in a
against hope.
position to say
Because
anything.
if you even
No,
go by
I don't
what
think
has happened
anybody
to those
is in a
39
position
people
to say
also,
anything with authority about what happened to
give
those
me- give me-
39
give me a
Indians.
minute,
I
give
think
me a
that is
minute,
still
give
a
me a
matter of investigation, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Quickly. Because I need to then go
it's
across
a matter
to...
of hope against hope. And
Yes.
also the reason is the person.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Can I complete for a second? The reason is because although there's a person, some Massi who came from, who said I saved myself and came here, was
Right.
rescued, that all of them has died. But the day he said that all of them have died, 2 days after that, one of them has given a call back home.
No,
and
I
said,
don't
"We are
think
all safe."
anybody is in a
So we have
position to say
believe
whether they're dead
the
or alive,
person-
and we all
the
need to
people
be
who
very
received a
careful
call.
because there are families involved, sir. There are families involved. We need to be very careful, and perhaps Father Tom's rescue does give hope to the families of those 39 individuals also. Father Arike, let me come across to you now. Now, you are somebody who's followed the travails of Father Tom very closely.
Yes.
It must have been a harrowing time for him and for all those close to him. Anything, sir, that you can share with
Yes.
us today? Because this is obviously a very, very big day for him and for all those close to him. Finally, he's coming back home safe and sound, sir, after 18 months of captivity.
Yes. Yes. It is a pathetic situation faced them, and 4 died and 16 people altogether died. We say the assassinated, we say. Because so many people went so many countries for charity purpose and saved the people. Here we are discussing about the thing is going on. The political parties, we are focusing about the political party, whether Congress or whether BJP, how they involved in rescuing him into the livelihood. See, the last 18 months, we say, their families, their relatives, and he's Kerala, my fellow priest from Salesian.
Yes.
We do not know where he is.
Exactly.
So the mentality of the other fellow priests are very pathetic.
Sir, undoubtedly this has been a very difficult time for all of you. But are you finally satisfied, sir, with the way the Indian government has handled this? Father, if I could ask you one question, sir. 18 months of an absolutely harrowing time for all of you. But are you now finally satisfied, would you say, with the way the Indian government has handled this?
Yes, you see, who were met our minister, Sushma Swaraj, he has a positive answer for that.
Yes.
Definitely, you go peacefully. Father Tom is okay, and he will come back. There is positive answer.
Yes.
That's why I said that this Sushma Swaraj is a very diplomatic minister, because he followed, definitely he followed.
Yes.
Where we cannot follow, any ecclesiastical authorities cannot follow.
Absolutely. And I think even her worst of critics, even her worst of critics would have to acknowledge that Sushma Swaraj is a hands-on foreign minister who's perhaps in many ways changed the rules of the game. I'm running out of time, so I'd like to give the last word to the non-politicians on the panel. Ambassador Sajjan Har, you know, in recent weeks, we've seen India scoring a series of diplomatic victories. Of course, today's news comes as really good news, but we've talked about the Doklam win, we've talked about the BRICS summit win, with the BRICS nations agreeing to name Pakistan-based terror organizations. Would you say Indian diplomacy is on a bit of a roll right now?
Yes, I would say that, and I could sort of, in addition to what you mentioned after Doklam and the BRICS summit declaration,
yes,
I would also mention the bilateral meeting that Prime Minister Modi had with President Xi Jinping.
Right.
Because there also we said that, Doklam-like instances should not be
allowed
repeated.
To happen.
We should
Yes.
have, we should have, you should ensure, reaffirm the Astana consensus, ensure that disagreements don't become disputes.
Correct.
And
laying the foundation for a much more robust bilateral relationship.
And also Myanmar, also the visit to Myanmar, I think that was
Though I agree, though there has been criticism about
on the Rohingyas,
no mention of the Rohingya crisis.
Refugee
Professor Nalapat, a great time to be an Indian diplomat. How would you sum this up for us?
Well, I'd like to say that I think the important thing that is driving forward a positive vision of India is the fact that this is one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Yes.
And over the next 20 years or so is likely to be one of the 3 large economies of the world.
All right.
So I think there has to be a continued focus on economic growth.
All right.
Because the faster we grow, the more we'll be respected.
And perhaps the more robust our economic policies, the more robust is likely to be our diplomatic position.
Quite
is
true.
that correct? Okay, since you're in the studio, I'll give you the last word very quickly.
I'll
Is
just
there something?
add on the victory in Doklam. The government has to behave very maturely.
Okay.
We caution the government to just
Can
drop
I-
this jingoism, this rhetoric, and the chest thumping. It's a diplomatic issue. If this engagement has been it's a diplomatic issue. If this engagement has been done,
But again,
they
at
can
least
reclaim.
grudgingly,
Second,
you are conceding that they have done a good job on the diplomatic front.
It's a victory for the government.
Okay.
But you
Can
have
I-
to
can
shut
I-
down the
yeah.
jingoism and the chest thumping.
Okay.
Second,
Mr.
China
Singh,
is still blocking Hafiz Saeed's terrorist
but
attack in the UN.
we have to wait and see
Still.
when that matter comes up again at the UNSC. Okay, Archie
Masood
saying
Azhar.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. He's saying you're doing a good job, but cut down on the jingoism.
Same time, the
Advice for you, RP Singh, cut down on the jingoism, says the Congress. Very quickly, sir. 10 seconds.
None of our spokesperson, none of our party leader ever has come to any TV channel and has done any chest thumping.
No, this is
But
you
what
have
I'm
an
going to say is
advantage
different.
that without your spokesperson,
that
TV
it's
channels-
not merely people in distress. Sushma ji is not helping people. Sir,
Yes.
Mr. Sulaiman,
Okay,
give me a
okay.
minute.
5 seconds,
Give
sir.
me a minute, sir.
I'm running out of
It's
time.
not only...
Okay. All right, my director tells me I'm completely out of time. The BJP says we've done no chest thumping, no jingoism whatsoever. I'm not sure if the Congress is going to agree with that, but clearly it's been a major diplomatic win for India. Well, on that note, it's a wrap on the show. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks to our entire panel for joining us on this broadcast.